Craig here with Maritime Gardening, and it is herb season. That is to say, all my herbs, or not all of them, but many of my herbs are at a point now where I can harvest them. I can start processing and drying them and using them for different things. So I thought I'd speak briefly about that. So here I've got some oregano drying, okay? I mean, everybody's got a different system for drying herbs. I grow a lot of herbs, such that I don't have to buy too much. My system for drying herbs has evolved over time, but now I think I got it down to a bit of a science. So whatever the herb is, this is sage here. You know, I bring it in, I cut it off and bring it in, and then I get my kids. I mean, they're barely kids, they're 17 and 15 now, but they pull all the leaves off. Okay, whatever the herb is, right? Here's some savory, they pull the leaves off. Right, here's sage, they pull the leaves off. I mean, you just pull your hand along the stem and the leaves just pop off, right? When we were kids, we used to play a thing called tree or bush, if you remember what that is. But anyway, you just pull your fingers along the stem and all the leaves come off. And by doing that, see, you could dry, for instance, this savory by just laying it out like this, and it would dry. But each one of these leaves is going to draw from the stem moisture. So they'll dry a lot faster if you remove the leaves from the stem. It also takes up less room. Okay, so there's lots of different ways to do this, but all I do is I take all of those leaves and I spread them out on cookie sheet, pizza pan. This is a great one here because it's got holes, right? If I had a really, really fine mesh, you know, you have something all rigged up with cheesecloth up and there's air on both sides, that would work too. I could have put some cardboard underneath here because it would draw some of the moisture out. I could lay it on top of tea towels. I could have just put it on the counter, but that would drive my wife crazy, right? So there's lots of different ways. And actually, when I initially laid this out, which was 2 days ago, I think, maybe even yesterday, I had four. I had two of these circle ones and two of these rectangle ones, but they've shrunk since then. So I consolidated because I need one of these to do some more herbs, okay? So that's the general process. I mean, and you might ask, how much herbs do you need? How much does it make? This much oregano I can stuff into a big 1 quart mason jar like this. I mean, stuff it in really tight. And that's after about a week. I mean, it depends on humidity, but I mean, these are still, the leaves can, oh, there's a piece of grass. The leaves can bend without breaking, and I can't crush them into little pieces. You should, you know, they're ready to be put in the jar. You're never going to remove all the moisture, but they're ready to be put in the jar. You can pick up a few leaves, go like this, and they start breaking into pieces, right? These are still not dry enough for that to happen. Okay, but yeah, if I fill a jar like this is usually enough to get me through the year. This is last year's oregano, that's all that's left. About, you know, and I'm making spaghetti right now. I could probably, like, this jar was about half full when I started, I could probably empty it. And this is kind of loose, right? When I put it in this, it's packed really tight. And then I take certain amounts out and put it in this jar a bit looser, right? So I'm not constantly opening this, right? This came off of one plant. I have 4 oregano plants in my garden. You know, the plant starts off, you get it from, like I started mine as a transplant, or maybe your neighbor gives you a clump, about this size. This is sage, but just for sake of example. It started off like this. And now the diameter of the base of the plant is about the size of this 14-inch pizza plate, right? So they double in size every year. So you don't need a lot of plants. I would say 1 plant is enough. All this came from 1 plant, right? I got 4 plants, that's too many, okay? Now, I mean, the plants go to flower, they draw in insects and, you know, bees and things like that. They're nice, and of course, there's lots of different other things you can use the fresh herbs in, which we do. We kind of gorge on oregano this time of year. But I also have a lot of other herbs, right? So maybe I should do a video on how I use these things, but I'll just mention here. I make a spaghetti. I'm using the oregano in the sauce. You can also put sage in the sauce. You can put savory in the sauce. I got basil in the garden. You can use that. Lots of things you can use in your sauce. But this time of year, I got so much. I've got 2 or maybe 3 sage plants. I have a ridiculous amount of sage. So what I tend to do, I would remove this dirty part down here, but I throw these in the pasta water, make a kind of tea that I boil the pasta and it flavors the pasta, right? That way I don't have to process these. I have 2 sage bushes, right, that are about 2 feet wide in diameter. So I've got a lot of sage. So I'll throw like all of this stuff is going to go in my pasta water, right? It'll turn the water a bit green. And as a result, you get these extremely flavorful noodles because the noodles suck up the water, right? Now this is not something you wouldn't go to the store and buy. You know, if I bought this at the store, fresh sage, fresh oregano, that would cost about $9 or something, right? But that's why we grow things, especially perennials like this. They come back every year. They're pest proof. You don't have to fertilize them. You don't have to put pesticides on them. You have to do nothing. They just get bigger and they grow better every year. And your food gets tasting better by using all of these. But it doesn't stop there because you can use your herbs for other things. Here I've got, this is from sage, and these are the flowers. Some years my plants go into flower, some years they don't. I've never really kept track. But I've got 2 sage plants, they're different varieties. One of them is in a full bloom and the other one doesn't have any flowers at all. I don't know why. Who knows, right? So these are just drying off because it's a bit damp outside, but later on I'll get my kids to remove the flowers from the stems and we'll lay them all in this. All of this should fit on this one pizza plate, okay? And I put it, I mean, they're on the island in my kitchen living room area. There's usually a degree of airflow here because you got windows open and stuff like that. Even if we have the air conditioning on, it's nearby, so there's a breeze going over these, but they're not in direct sun. That's another thing. But you dry this, you can make a tea out of it. Same thing for, I grow thyme in my garden. Thyme is wonderful in rice dishes. I use it for curried rice. I use it for jambalaya, different things like that. But also, thyme makes a fantastic tea. If you've never tried thyme as a tea, you are missing out. It's so wonderful as a tea. This sage tea, I've actually never tried it before, but I did a bunch of reading. It's a totally a thing people do, so I'm going to give it a try this year. We'll see if we like it. If we like it, we'll make it all the time, right? In the evening, you're watching a TV show, you want to get out the pot and chips, maybe you make a smart choice and just have some tea and, you know, give your stomach a break for that night, right? So also tea is another thing you can do. But again, we're not leaving it on these stems, right? I just have them on the stems right now because these are damp because it's a bit wet outside, but we'll just pull them off, you know, just to give you a visual. And this, you do the same thing with your herbs that are leaves, but you just grab the stem and pull, and off they come, right? So it's not a lot of work. It takes about, I don't know, my 2 kids can do this all in about 5 minutes, right? Then they'll dry faster. I mean, these smell like sage. I'm really curious to see what it's like as a tea. But, you know, I presume they're very extremely aromatic. You can use them in food too, apparently, but extremely aromatic and, you know, kind of beautiful. They look like lupins to me anyway. But yeah, I'm curious to see. I mean, if you go on the internet, they'll say it does this and it does that. I never pay too much much attention because it's just kind of like people saying stuff. I prefer some clinical trials. But anyway, if it tastes good and I like it and it feels nice in my stomach, I'll come back and keep using it. If it doesn't taste good, I won't use it. I'll use it for other things. But a strong sage flavor. Anyway, just a few notes on using herbs and drying them and that sort of thing. If you got any more questions, please ask. I grow, let's see now. In terms of perennials, I grow thyme, tarragon, oregano, sage. What's the other one? I'm forgetting something. Savory. Right? Those are the ones, and those are perennials. Rosemary is a perennial, but not in my zone, so I have to replant rosemary every year, but I grow rosemary as well. And in terms of annuals, I grow different things every year, but this year I'm just growing basil. I have an entire 4x8 garden of basil. I love basil. We gorge on it and use it in lots of things in the summer, but I also dry it. It doesn't retain a lot of flavor when it's dry, but it's still useful, and it's way cheaper to grow it. So that's what I do. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting. If you have any questions about herbs and preserving herbs and using herbs, please put them in the comments section. I'd love to do a follow-up video on that. I'll also just show you some different scenes from the garden and so on. But otherwise, until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden, have fun in your kitchen. Thanks for watching.